Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a midweek special edition of the Too Many Guys Soccer Show. I'm joined, as I am each and every show, pretty much, by my faithful partner in all things podcasting, looking very relaxed after his recent vacation in Mexico. Stead, how goes it?
I'm doing pretty good. Got a little burnt, but it's totally worth it. Totally worth it. Got burnt, got fat, got drunk. It was great, and came back one day, probably 1 week too soon. But glad to be back. Before we go anything, I want to give a special thanks to Rob for holding things down for the 2 weeks, and I was prepping for my show and prepping for my trip and getting out of here for the trip. So Rob, now that you have access to everything, be careful. I might start hitting a lot of tennis balls your way going, Rob, cover this, Rob, cover that. So thanks a lot, Rob. Really appreciate it.
No problem. It's what I do. I'm the pitch hitter. I run. I do everything. That's what I do.
So, Stead, I don't think we have ever had this many of the guys on the show all at one time. So we know it must be something special. We are here this evening for our Too Many Guys Analyst World Cup Group Stage Draw. Tonight, we're going to figure out which guy is covering which group during the group stage. And because this is the Too Many Guys Soccer Show, we have to make a spectacle of it and ourselves. Now, I am completely confident that after we go through this, it will last all of 3 days and then we will mess it up. But at least for this moment in time, we have an organized plan. Each one of the eight will be responsible and will be the primary analyst for one of the groups, right? And so we are going to do this at random because if I didn't, I would have 8 guys covering Group A and nobody covering Group H. So it is completely random. I have 2 coffee mugs here, an Army mug and a Villanova mug, each with 8 as equally sized as I could possibly get them, pieces of paper. No, I do not have ping pong balls. No, I do not have Easter eggs. No, I do not have a big wheel. I do not have a beautiful Brazilian model and the cast of a reality TV show because we are a low budget show and we put this together in a couple of hours last night. So y'all gonna take what you can get and you're going to like it. So everybody understand the parameters?
Yep.
Before we get started.
Hey, we got G. G's got a camera.
Getting there.
Oh, wait, no, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. We don't have a camera yet. But we do have our newest contributor, Bert the Brazilian. Bert, how goes it this evening as you join us all the way from what I trust is sunny, beautiful, and warm? No, I am lying. Madison, Wisconsin.
It isn't sunny, but I'll tell you what, the weather here is bipolar as hell because today was 70s, yesterday was about 40, and tomorrow is going to be about 35. So I don't know really what to do anymore with this weather, but it's a pleasure to join y'all, and I'm excited to see if luck is on my side and Group G falls within my lap.
All right, so we're going to get started. I will draw a name, and then I will draw a group number. So,
Quick question.
Of course.
Do you happen to have screen share on?
I don't yet, but I will shortly.
Alrighty.
All right, so first out of the pot is Eves the bartender, who couldn't be with us tonight. He's being represented by our very own stat boy and Supreme Byron Robb. All right, Byron Robb, is there a group that you want?
For Eves, I think it would like either C, if I had to pick one, because it's Argentina's in it. And that's really about it. Maybe A. A works too because you got the Ecuador. And I know Eves is Colombiano. But we'll see what he gets.
Is there a group you're trying to avoid?
Man, I do not want Group F for Eves.
Well, Eves is going to be covering Group C. We got Eves the bartender with Group C.
Now, I will tell you about Group C. As far as the tickets go, this is the hardest group to get tickets for. Argentina, Saudi Arabia, and Argentina, Mexico are literally the toughest games to get. There's bots everywhere getting these tickets before the humans can get them. They're popular games. Even the ones in the big stadium in Lusail, there's 70,000 tickets available. Nope, hard to find. And they're all been $900 on the resale market and StubHub. So big matches.
All right. So first out was Eves the bartender, and Eves will have Group C. Next up, even though he's not with us, Coach G and Bert the Brazilian. They're going to be tagging the group. So we got Coach G and Bert the Brazilian next out, and they will be. Bert, is there a group you want?
You already know. Hit me with that G, baby.
G.
Yeah, you already know. Let's get that G too, man. I love that G spot. Let's go.
Oh,
What,
oh,
are the kids at bed yet? No.
oh
But
yeah.
Hey, if my boy wants G, let's get that G, man. It's only fitting. All right.
Is there a group you're trying to avoid?
I mean, I love Argentina to watch them, but I can't watch them, if you know what I'm trying to say here. I can't let my country folk down. I'll be shunned by my grandmother.
All right. Well, you're not getting Group G. You guys have Group D. So it'll be Coach G and Bert covering Group D: France, Australia, Denmark, and Tunisia.
Sounds like
Roll
the
with
D's
that.
is pretty
Could roll with
strong.
that.
So let's bring it on. It'd be fun to investigate some of these teams. So
Yes, sir.
I'm going to 3 games in this group, by the way. One of my most popular groups.
All right. So
By the way, did I miss it? Is there a reason why Rob looks like he's in the Blues Brothers tonight?
He's on a mission from God.
I spoiled myself and I bought my first pair of Versace's and I'm wearing them.
Okay. Next out, Professor Matt. Professor Matt. I have a feeling I know what group you want, but go ahead and tell us.
Group B for potentially selfish reasons. But I also wouldn't mind Group G.
Is there one that you're trying to avoid?
No, not really.
Well, Professor Matt, you will be covering Group H. Group
Okay.
H.
Or as they say in Europe, H.
H. So, Professor Matt in there with Portugal, Ghana, Uruguay, and South Korea. How you feeling about that, Matt?
Well, it's Juarez versus Ghana again, so that's kind of cool. And let's see if, let's see what Portugal does, because that should be fascinating.
I think Sun's going to be amazing to watch in this World Cup.
Yes. All right. Next out of the pack is Celtic Cam. Cam, which group do you want?
Well, Group B seems interesting to me. I love to see a good England loss. So that one obviously is singing to me a wee bit. But also Group E actually looks pretty interesting too. Yeah, there we go, the American flag.
Is there one you're trying to avoid?
I'm not particularly fond of Group A. I don't know, they could be the kind of interesting, out of nowhere games, but I'd probably like to avoid it.
Well, unfortunately, guess what?
Yeah.
Hey, you get to see Sadio Mane, maybe.
No,
Yeah.
you won't. He's out.
No, the Bayern have said we don't know yet, and also Senegal needs to look at the records. No confirmation yet.
All right. So Group A,
there's a possibility he still might play.
Mhm.
Yes, there's a possibility he might play. I think he plays the second game personally.
All right.
Well, Group B, Group E still there, and I think G is still there. All right, so next up we have Coach Matt.
Go. Let's
All
go.
right, I think I know which group you want, but go ahead.
Give me a sec. I kind of want Coach G. I want Group G, but or Group B, one of those two, and then avoid
I get it.
Group F. I just don't really care about it. So,
All right.
but I'm gonna get F one.
Nope, you're getting Group G.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I think Serbia's going to do well in this group. By the way,
I agree with Rob. Mitrovic lives.
I think Serbia has the potential to draw Brazil here. I really do. I think they're good enough.
Yeah.
I think in Brazil, they're good in the front, but yeah.
The defense is worrying.
All right, so we are down to the last three. It is Chelsea Mike, Los, and Larry the insurance guy. Next out is Larry the insurance guy. Larry, I think I know what group you didn't want it based on your reaction.
My group was I did not want A. I want nothing to do with Qatar. Especially I didn't think Mane was playing, so I was like, I mean, Netherlands are a fun team to watch. I just don't really know too much about those teams, so I didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't feel like doing too much research.
Is there one that you did?
I kind of wanted to avoid B, even though we all have some rooting interest there, just because I don't want to be frustrated with it. But I'm a big Belgium fan just because of my obsession with KDB. But I mean, the three groups that are left, I'm happy with all of them.
So you're going to be covering Group E. Group E.
I'll take that one.
Spain and Germany, the big matchup in that group.
Yep.
All right, so Los, Mike, this is the decider. Group B, Group F. One of you've got the the group of death, US, England, Iran, and Wales. One of you gets to cover Canada.
Yeah.
And Belgium.
And Belgium. All right, so it is Los.
What
Los,
did I get? What did they
Hurricane
give me?
Los.
Oh, what was I? I was actually hoping for Group E or Group B, and Group B still a possibility. And of course, like everyone else, avoiding Group A. I mean, the only team in there that really stands out to me is Netherlands and Senegal, those two, and Ecuador and Qatar. They don't cut it in Qatar. So no interest in Group A whatsoever. But my luck, I'll probably end up with Group A.
Well, you got Group B.
I got B.
You got B.
Oh
I gotta cover
man, I was
US.
hoping to just default into Group B.
US, England, Wales, Iran. Okay,
So
let's go.
of course, that leaves Chelsea Mike with Group F.
Hey,
Where's it? Well, where's the F? You're supposed to show it to us. All right. Just
There we,
make
there we
sure
go.
everything is on the up and up.
wait, Los, what are you, auditing the company over here? Or
You got it,
PwC?
I like
Hey,
that.
I learned from I've up Bladder.
All right, so
Yes, he's learned. Take all the bribes, and then feel real bad about it later.
Yeah.
all right, Mike, you got Belgium, you got Canada. How you feeling about that one?
I'm pretty happy about that, actually. I think we're at the end of the Belgian golden generation here, so it's kind of now or never for them. Canada's a fun team. They won CONCACAF. Croatia, I've always loved Croatia since '98. Their jerseys caught the eye with their checkerboard crest they have on their flag. It'd be interesting about Morocco too. So yeah, no, I'm happy with Group F.
I think Chelsea Mike might have been better off with Group A since it's more like the lower leagues.
Well, I don't know, Netherlands, and who knows about Senegal. Yeah, without
It's too many
Mane,
unknowns.
that would be bad.
So, gentlemen, we will be back next Monday with our full previews, at which time we're going to give you all each the opportunity to go through, give us your picks and previews and analysis of your particular group. So for right now, I do want to get, though, with what little time we have left. The big announcement came down today, the one that most of us, with the possible exception of Celtic Cam, whose team isn't actually playing in the World Cup because, well, Scotland didn't make it. Get your reaction to the news of the World Cup roster. Rob, for the U.S. men's national team. Rob, not many surprises on there. I guess the biggest ones that I had, Haji Wright making it over Ricardo Pepi, and Zach Steffen being left off completely in favor of Ethan Horvath and Sean Johnston.
Yeah, Haji Wright surprising, but he's been doing pretty good in Turkey, and it's clear that PFOC has been kind of in the slump a little bit for Union, and that didn't help him at all whatsoever. And I think he just doesn't vibe with what Berhalter does and wants to do. He feels like Haji Wright's the one that is going to potentially put him in an 85th minute and do something. He has a height, and also he's familiar with a lot of the players like Pulisic and McKinney. So there's a connection there. Steffen, shocked because he started like most of the games of qualifying, but and he likes that he plays with his feet out the back. But so that's the biggest shock to me. Also, Christian Rondon still making it, even though he's kind of been blah all season. But it seems like he's a locker room guy, which is fine. Jordan Morris is a good inclusion in my opinion. I do like him as well. Probably the one biggest disappointment, not disappointment, but kind of surprise is Pepi doesn't make it, simply because Pepi moved to the Netherlands, did well in the Netherlands, and I thought the reason he moved to the Netherlands is to get his call up, and it didn't happen for him. So it seems like Jesus and Sargent did enough to hold off a challenge from Pepi. So overall, though, it's a good squad. It's probably a better squad in 2014. And 2014 went to the knockout. So I'm pumped. I can't wait to see him live.
Coach Matt, we heard in some of the comments that Greg Berhalter made after releasing the roster that some of the inclusions were based on these players' familiarity with British and Welsh football, English and Welsh football. What do you make of the decision to say, okay, we're going to preview these guys because they have some familiarity with the style of play for both England and Wales?
I mean, that's like a way to go about it. I think there were definitely some players that deserved to be on there that weren't. I think PFOC should have made it personally. I'm not a fan of Sargent, but I kind of get it. He's doing okay at Norwich. I get that, especially against Wales, you're going to probably play players that are, closer to that, championship lower league England level, which I'm sure Chelsea Mike will hit on a little bit. I'm not upset that Steffen isn't in. I thought he was going to be defaulted in, so I'm happy to see that Horvath made it. Again, another lower league player. Overall, I can't be angry at the team. I would change out some, but obviously you have to take the team that is gonna or you think is gonna mesh the best together. One thing I'll give Sargent is he is probably more versatile, so he can come in and across the forward line if they need him to. But overall, we'll see. As we've all kind of talked about a little bit, just form wise, the USA's best players are not playing at their highest level at the moment, especially Pulisic. Reyna's just coming back from injury. So it's going to be interesting to see how they all do. You know, chemistry is one thing, but form is another. So yeah, you're right, Rob. I mean, Aronson, yes, and Tyler, yes, but those are two players that are playing on the same team, and they weren't. I mean, Leeds wasn't playing it great until the last couple games. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do. I'm hoping they do well. I am a little nervous though about the team getting out of the group.
Hey, Cam, we did it. Our Cameron Carter Vickers for the U.S. men's national team campaign worked. We are taking full credit for that one, even though we probably had nothing to do with it. Talk about the fact, Cam, that this was a guy who going into last year wasn't even on the radar, and now he's on the plane heading to the World Cup. How important has he been to Celtic, and how important has his time at Celtic been to boosting his World Cup, getting him into the frame and then onto the team to go to Qatar?
Yeah, I think you made a good point. You know, he was on nobody's radar. He was a player that was on I believe Tottenham was just being loaned out continuously. No one really had space for him. And he's completely changed around for Celtic, at least that back line. I mean, he's a big guy. I think he's very strategic in his defense. And I mean, his stats in the Scottish Premier League are some of the best, if not the best, across the whole league. So, you know, I think getting that European experience as well, seeing him play in Europe, we didn't have a great campaign, obviously, but I think he overall had a good defensive campaign. I think it really helped bring him to the forefront, and you know, he's finally now being selected for the team here. I think it's going to be massive for him. I think he's, you know, again, this could be, as you guys were saying, you know, playing in that kind of British style of football. He's got that experience. So, you know, a big guy like him against some of these other teams, especially the US, or sorry, not the US, England, I think is going to be really important. So, as you say, I'm really happy to see him on that sheet. I think it's well deserved.
Los, you got to cover him. How you feeling about this?
Oh, well, I was planning on watching the matches anyway, because that's the group the US is going to be in. I actually have I don't know how I'm going to work this out with the new job now, to let the boss know, hey, England versus Iran, I know, hey, this is where it starts. I'd like to take the afternoon off and watch this, boss. I don't know. He's a sports guy, but he's not a European football guy. He's a more an American football guy. So we'll see. I get a chance to watch him, I hope.
So, G, I know you are. When it comes to U.S. soccer, G, you are the Prince of Darkness.
Or a realization of soccer love, but all right.
Give us your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I like to see Horvath as a number one. I'm not a big fan of Turner, especially on my beloved club team. I think having Reams back in the center defense, being 35, he definitely has the experience. But again, it's the offense, and it's kind of hard to win games if you don't score any goals, and that's kind of what I am kind of fearful of. So, you know me, we'll probably get out of the group and lose first round like we always kind of do. So that's kind of my sad story when it comes to USA, but it's fun and dandy. Hopefully we're getting a decent kind of games with England and everyone else, and hopefully we'll lose against some of these smaller teams. But it's going to be one of those things that yeah, I got no love for some of these soccer players on the USA team. It's hard to be going against world champions when you have half the squad on MLS. Like, we can't compete with world champions when we have half our squad on a basic squad of a team league here in the United States that puts whatever. But I love my MLS. I love my home team, Chicago Fire. We suck. So besides that, we'll see how far the United States goes. But again, I'm a hater. I'm a realist. We're not going to go that far. So just thank God we're in it. Thank God we got that soccer money, and we'll just move forward.
Yes. And that is an opinion too. All right. Chelsea, Mike, what do you think of this U.S. men's national team roster?
As coach.
I don't know. I wasn't really surprised by anything, but yeah, of course I am shocked almost by the fall of Zach Steffen. Zach Steffen a year and a half ago was lock number one, whatever, Man City, And then he struggled. So that's why I'm not surprised, but it is a little bit disappointing because, you know, it's in him, we thought we had the heir to Tim Howard and whatnot. And it appears not. How strong is the team? It's about as strong as we could put out there right now. I think that we definitely in the United States have some younger players who have exciting potential. But the team is young and, you know, it's going to be they're the kind of team that I couldn't, if they went 1-1-1 or 0-3 or 3-0, I wouldn't be surprised at any result. That's why it's going to be interesting.
All right. Last but not least on this particular subject,
Wait,
Professor
real
Matt.
quick. Wait, real quick. And Chelsea Mike said it very interesting, potential. How many friggin' teams have we always heard potential? That's why I got to be a skeptic. It's been around our MO for the longest time. So that's all I'm going to say.
All right, Matt, what do you think of this?
Coach G is obviously reading my mind in that respect, because I was going to lead off with that point. Like the omission of Zach Steffen, we were sold a bag of bad groceries. I agree with Coach G. I think Harvard should be the starter. It's going to be interesting. It's a young team. It's a relatively inexperienced team, and it's an MLS / kind of lower league British kind of thing. I have no idea what this team's going to do. And part of that is because I kind of like Chelsea Mike. I don't see great things, but Wales is very dependent on one guy. We know England in the World Cup and what can happen there. And I don't know, is Iran just going to show up against us? Or is Iran, is that a winnable game? So I don't know what to expect from this team, but it's about what I expected, at least in terms of the personnel. And it's probably the best, squad, at least at the moment, that they could put out there.
Yeah, Bert, how you doing this evening?
I'm good, man. I feel resonated with a lot of those thoughts. My biggest thing is just, are they going to be able to stay healthy? Are they going to be able to have all the key players make it through all 4 games? That's my biggest concern here, especially I'm really excited to see what Gio's going to do. And I just hope he can perform, right? Because I think if he leads the way, who knows? Potential, right, Coach? You just definitely potential there.
And Bert, I would be remiss if I didn't have you get your thoughts on the Brazil roster. Now, they went in a little bit of a different direction. You've got 39, what is he, 39? Dani Alves on that roster, who's as old as Methuselah. Of course, Neymar. I gotta love Anthony's reaction to making it. I love the fact that you have a roster of 26 people that has a combined 30 names. So give me your thoughts on the roster that your country will be sending to the World Cup.
For sure. I'm extremely biased. So I always think whoever we put on there is enough for us to win, just based off of the history of the country. But I'm actually really curious to just see how, if we get caught up in the Neymar glory again, right? Like where people are just waiting to see if he's going to be that key or not. And if everybody else is just going to be like, what, screw this. Let's just kind of go ahead and take over. I'm worried. I think I forgot who mentioned it earlier, but I am worried about their defense a little bit. Especially like you said, with some of that age. I just hope that we are able to put 2 and 2 together and not leave the defense out to dry, and then all of a sudden, next thing you know, we got kind of Germany 2.0 happening again, because that would break my heart.
Go for it, Matt.
Yeah, Bert. I think Marquinhos is a lock. Is the old man going to be his partner at center back? Like, is that what we don't know? Okay.
I'm assuming so, right? Like until I honestly, I don't know even. I just hope whoever it is, they kind of
Their
figure
spine,
that.
their spine is
Is it-
fine though. Like they have Militao who plays for Real Madrid. Like they're okay at center back. It's like it's the wing backs that are the issue, and that's
Mhm.
why they brought up Danny
Yeah.
Alves, right? Like, and then they're gonna play either like they're gonna play their 4-3-3, and they're gonna or they were trying to experiment a little bit with a 4-2-3-1 the other last like friendly round and try to put Neymar at Cam and then other wingers and a forward up top. And then they're gonna probably have their double pivot. So like they're gonna have Casemiro or Fred or Paqueta like cover those wings for Alves and whoever, or probably Tellez on the left. So I think they're fine, to be honest.
Hey, Bert, let me just help you out here, Bert. Just so you know, you're talking to a bunch of guys who follow American soccer. So whenever we hear someone who's from a country that's actually like has talent that we could not dream of having, and you all show any sort of fear or worry, we get pissy. We're like, screw you. How dare you have any concern about your squad? Larry knows this all too well because when Larry talks about Manchester City, we like shut it down quickly because it's so frustrating because they're always good. So just so you know, Bert, when you're coming in here, have your shield up because you got a bunch of disgruntled guys who love soccer and know our country is never going to win. So
No, I know. I was angry. He was
Matt came
what,
out
you're
like, shut up,
sad.
Bert.
You're sad that you have Thiago Silva.
I mean, again, like I follow the South American qualifiers. What Rob knows is too. Brazil is my second team, man, because like all the other teams just cheating on Bolivia is my first team. So like I was like, well, I'm gonna do the one other country that doesn't also speak Spanish, and I'm gonna root for that. So yeah,
No,
like
for sure.
I'm that's why I'm pumped. I got their group, and obviously I'm gonna be coming to you to talk about them. But they're my pick. We will do it on Monday, but they're my pick to win the whole thing. So
That makes two of us.
All right, gentlemen, we're going to save all of that for the next show, but I want to thank you all for participating in the first quadrennial Too Many Guys Analyst World Cup group stage draw. I'm sure that the hijinks were worth it, and I'm sure that even though we have assigned each and every one of you a group, by the time that we get to the actual group stage within a game, all of this will have gone to pot and Too Many Guys Soccer Show, because we never do anything that we actually intend to do and keep it on track for more than 30 minutes. So, gentlemen, it has been fun, and I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today. So Coach G, Los, Larry the Insurance Guy, Coach Matt, Celtic Cam, Professor Matt, Chelsea Mike, Byron Rob filling in for Eves the bartender, and of course the newest gentleman, Bert the Brazilian, also known as Senior Socks, for his impressive sock collection. And of course, I want to thank producer Stead for keeping trains running on time. So, gentlemen, that was a lot of fun. We actually managed to not make a complete hash of that. That said, we will try and do better next week. Thank you all for joining in this midweek special edition of the Too Many Guys Soccer Show.